Gary Crisp of Racing and Sport. What's your best of the international races?
I think the Vars. I think a very strong race this year, and I think that Mirage Dancer profiles as a horse to beat. I mean, Sir Michael Stout has got a good record at these meetings, and this is a very progressive horse. He seems to have settled in well here. He's worked very well, brings some very good form here. He did run second to Best Solution in the Prince of Wales at Newmarket, and his run since then have been good. Comes off a bit of a break. I thought that the odds on offer that he probably represented the best of the internationals.
Edward Sadler, broadcaster for the Hong Kong Jockey Club. International Day Sunday, an exciting day. What's your best bet of the international races?
In the international races, I'd be going for the sprint, Jason. I'd be going Mr. Stunning, who, of course, won the race last year. Had the perfect prep. He's been trialling well. 2 races have been very good. He's got better from run to run. I think he'll be perfect for this race. Third up, super consistent horse. I can't see him figuring out of the top 3 here, so I'm pretty confident about his chances.
And of the 6 non-international races, what's your best of those?
Well, I won't keep you waiting for too long. We'll go for the first race one, a horse called Charizard, number 2. He's a 2 starts, ran well on debut. He came out on 1 at his next start, showed a really good turn of foot. That last couple of 100 metres from his, I was really impressed by that, and I think up to 1,400 metres, third up, he'll be even better again.
Luke Middlebrook, what's your best bet for Hong Kong on Sunday?
My best bet will be Charity Go in race 6 for a bit of value. He's drawn wide out in 14. There's a couple of sort of hype horses in the race. Charity Go is also a Derby prospect, I suppose, been a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old. You've got Frankie Law's 4-year-old debuting, as well as Tony Cruz's. So I think they'll be favoured in the market, but Charity Go led and gave a really good sight on debut, and ran some blistering splits early and just peaked late and ran a solid third at a good each-way price. So I think he'll be doing the same again and should come on from the run. And cheer him on.
Courtesy of iRace Singapore, we'll get a tip for you for Singapore on Sunday as well. What can you tell us?
Well, one of the people's favourite, the flashy chestnut Blizzard, makes his local debut in Singapore at Kranji. He's not going to be a price, but he should just be winning. And if you can get anywhere close to evens, just snap it up.
Paul, you've cast your eye over the card. What's your best bet outside of the internationals?
Well, I always like a bit of value, so I like to go outside the square. Now, 2 horses that I've got an eye on later in the card, races 9 and 10. Horse called New Asia Sunrise. He's going to be ridden by Neil Keller. Now, he's come up with barrier number 2. He's third up this season. His runs have both been pretty good, and he did catch the eye at his last start. He should be a good price, and from barrier 2, I think he can run really well in 9. And in race 10, a horse who's going to be at really big odds, a horse called Smart Boy. Now, he's going to be ridden by Gerald Mosse, and he is a horse who's won at Happy Valley most of his runs. In this particular occasion, he's come to Sha Tin, and his last start at Sha Tin was really good, really eye-catching. He's going to be a massive price. Now, there's a horse called Nakoni Express, a horse called Noble Steed. They're the ones that are going to be tough to beat. But if you're doing exotics, I'd throw Smart Boy in the exotics.
New Zealand racing broadcaster in Hong Kong, Tom Wood. Tom, first internationals. You've had a look at many of them in their work. What stands out? What's a bet for you over the 4 international races?
Well, Beauty Generation, he'll be very hard to beat in the mile, even though he's got gate 12. He's just been able to smash them all season so far. 3 starts, 3 wins, even though he got right off the track last time out. He'll be hard to beat. I think he'll be relatively short. Japanese horses are going to be hard to beat. Vivlos has looked really good in her track work. Deirdre. I think in terms of the Vars and the Cup, the Japanese horses are going to be hard to beat for the likes of the Cup. Deirdre and Sungrazer would be my 2 there. I think they'll be hard to beat. Don't mind Latrobe in the Vars. He's been working well enough, and he's got that form line coming through Australia. And Joseph O'Brien, of course, we know Aidan O'Brien through his feats here with Highland Reel. I think he'll be right in the fight as well. But they'd be the sort of horses I'd be looking at in those races. In terms of the sprint, I don't know if Hot King Prawn will be able to do it. I think from a wide stall, he might struggle leading the whole way up the straight. Really keen on the likes of Mr. Stunning. He looks to be peaking really well. Last year's winner now with Frankie Law, and could be a big weekend for Frankie with his first international winner. I think he's peaking at the right time.
Journalist and formalist Steve Moran, you've had a good look over the international runners. Can you pick out 1 or 2 that stand out and are worth considering from a betting perspective?
Not too sure about standouts, but from a betting perspective, at a little bit of value, I think the 2 Japanese horses in the Vars, Lise Gracheur and Crocosmia. Their form is entwined. One will lead, Crocosmia. The other, Lise Gracheur, with Maria on board, will settle at the back. They're going to be at the sort of price we can back them both. I think they represent value in the Vase.
And out of the other races in the sprint, is it going to be a Hong Kong domination, do you think?
I think so. Beat the Clock, Mr. Stunning, and of course Hot King Prawn. I'd be shocked if one of the three didn't win. I lean to Hot King Prawn. I don't know why people are wanting to downplay this horse, who's won 9 from 10. So there's probably not a lot of value in the sprint. Perhaps Northern Mile, although I think one master for William Haggis. The run in the Breeders' Cup, first go at a mile, caught on the inside part of the track, which wasn't the place to be that day. So she might be the one at big odds to certainly include in trifectas in the cup. In the mile.